The illustrious Jabba bids you welcome.
Here's a little follow-up. Obviously, we've been playing with this. Oh my god.
Okay, so this Ford came in, obviously bad head gaskets, typical 6.0, but missing pieces of the turbo. This was really nice. This stuff's all kind of like, it's like GAC. Remember the old Nickelodeon GAC?
What is Gak?
Jack is great stuff. Oozy.
I don't know, maybe I'm old, I don't know.
You're goddamn right.
Like, all these hoses are just nasty. Hold on. I want to see what that lower one looks like. Okay, so here's a little follow-up. Obviously, we've been playing with this thing a little bit. You know, sitting on the front counter. So flushing this out isn't that big of a deal, except for the oil cooler. The oil cooler has the coolant that passes through it, has to go through all this. This one in particular is already plugged. It's full of silicate. So it was plugged, it was no good. Came off customer rig. You can see down in there, there's a little bit going on. This is what just came out of this plugged truck. The coolant can't pass through it, can't cool down the oil that passes through on this side, and destroys everything inside the engine in essence. So this is not a fun situation to flush this out, because now we put another new oil cooler in it and we still have debris inside the block in the webbing. It makes it almost impossible to flush. So it's going to be a little time consuming. Okay, so experiment time. We're going to see what can get this stuff to actually break down. I'm going to see if any of these will break it down to the point where it will feed its way through that. So I'm going to be digging out of here. And what we have for test, we're going to experiment with some all makes and models. The main reason for that is because the oxalate acid inside it. Hoping that it will break it down. I don't know. This same kind of concept, except this is designed for removing algae from diesel tanks and stuff. I don't know the safety side of things as far as seals and stuff. It should be okay in theory, but I'm gonna have to do a little more research first. Obviously, a radiator cleaner. We gotta try. Yeah, no, that's not whiskey. That is what it actually looks like. Everybody! This just happens to be out of my parts cleaner. This stuff is amazing, but it only works when it gets warmed up. So I'm gonna have to get this up to temperature, you know, about 100 degrees. It would be optimum for this particular test. Seafoam, everyone knows what seafoam is. No, it's not motor treatment, it is engine treatment. Do not put this in your electric motor. So I figured this one would be okay due to the fact that it is safe to put in your fuel and your oil, so it should not damage any seals or bearings or anything like that. And my Red Bull, just because I had an extra glass and I have some Red Bull here. So, okay, I'm gonna start cutting this thing up and see what I come up with. Okay, so it's only been 2 minutes. We have little to no movement, little carbonation, little fogginess. We're gonna skip that one, come back to it. Nothing. This is breaking it down a little bit. Okay, now here's the thing that's really interesting. If you watch this, you see that? You could actually see the microbes at work moving this stuff around, actually separating it and starting to break it down. What's weird is it's not foggy, so I'm a little confused at that. But I'm going to apply a little heat so they're a little happier. Oh, there it goes again. And see what actually happens. Okay, so it's not OSHA approved, I'm sure, but you could see the movement starting. I'm sure that's warm enough for now. Okay. You see that? You see all that stuff working in there? I've been using this stuff for about 3 years now. It is a water-based solution, non-toxic, non-polluting, non-corrosive, which is a lie. It's very corrosive. You definitely have to rinse your parts off when you're done. That's probably why they put it in a plastic machine instead of a steel one, or aluminum, or any other metal or alloy. But you can see this just working. That's not moving because of the heat. That's just doing its thing. That's the living microbes at work.
In the face of overwhelming odds, I'm left with only one option. I'm gonna have to science the shit out of this.
It's not really breaking it down, I guess. I mean, there's still a big old chunk of poopy right there. Seafoam, I'm gonna give it a little it's kind of floating around, a little bit of bubblage. Not quite the same effect. We're going to cruise back to this. You see this stuff's going all different directions. There we go. We're going to go back to this. Got a little chemical reaction there. Waste of a Red Bull. Nothing. Okay, we're gonna get a little. Not really anything there. Startron seems to be doing something. Go back. A little distortion there, huh? It's eating it up. It's breaking it down. So far, none of these are thin enough to make it through there. That's just a giant poopy. The Aussie solution, you see all the black? That is the byproduct of the microbes eating away at this crap. So, we're gonna add another chunk to this Aussie. We're gonna throw a big thing in here and just see what happens. So, we're gonna come back to that.
A few minutes later.
Update. Nothing once again with the all makes and models. Startron, pretty much just stopped where it's at. I agitated it, nothing really. Radiator stop, or radiator super cleaner, whatever you want to call it, nothing. Aussie still working. Seafoam just kind of stopped there, just kind of made a little patty in the bottom. May work, but not the best. Yeah, the Red Bull's not going to eat your guts, I guess. But if you look, I've been heating this up with a little tweaker torch.
Is this a 5 o'clock free crack giveaway? Y'all tell anybody I'll kill you! Peanut butter and cracks.
Keeping the temperature right. You could actually see the second piece that is thrown in has now been dissolved most of the way. You can see the byproduct from the Aussies. Call it poop if you want, I don't care. But yeah, it's actually almost completely gone. So it's actually eating it up. Apply a little heat with the tweaker torch again.
What?
No.
What time is it?
It's 5 o'clock.
Did I miss a 5 o'clock free crack giveaway?
And you can kind of see when the Aussie reacts to it as it gets back up to its likable temperature. They'll start moving, getting a little more active, and start eating away at it. So at this point, I think this is going to be our best gamble. We'll see what happens. We're going to run it. Kind of a amazing little water-based solution here, because we have a petroleum-based product and it's eating it and literally pooping it back out.
One eternity later.
After like a half hour, yeah, this is definitely what we're going with. Like, it's pretty much gone. It's all broken up in there. So Aussie it is. These all are a fail in my book. So.
And you fail.
Okay, so I'm gonna use a sweet little Corbin clamp here to hold it, throw it over there, to the Aussie, and we're gonna kick this thing on and see what happens. We're gonna drop the pressure on, and we're gonna bring it up. Apparently I sprung a leak. Okay, so epic fail, Brian. Way to be clever. Okay, let me crank it up a little higher, see what happens. That's full go-go juice. It looks like it's working its way through. Oh, woo! There it is. Look at that. That could have been worse. Man, that thing came out like a poop noodle. Okay. We're just gonna let that run for a little while. Not gonna lie, I didn't think that would actually work. Stuff like, you can't even like pick it up. It's just the weirdest consistency. Cool. You know, I'm thinking I should get some sort of sponsorship from the CRC company for their smart washer plugs in my video. You know, because all three of you that have watched my video could potentially purchase one of these things. Stuff's nasty. So, all right, cool.